Here's what it looks like. Oh yeah. Whoa, this is heavy. And then we're gonna drape it over this bucket. And now it's on there, completely soaked in everything. So it's got all the concrete on it. We're gonna wait 24 hours, let this thing dry, and then see if it forms exactly as it looks. Okay guys, so it's officially been 24 hours. So I wanna see whether or not this concrete vase is actually intact and if I'm able to put things in it and if it has some sort of structural integrity. So I haven't touched this in a while. Oh, wait a second. This is as hard as a rock, no pun intended. Okay, I think this is actually gonna work. This one might be the coolest one yet. There we go. It looks like it's holding shape. Let me flip this over. Wow. Towel vase actually worked. Look at this. And it keeps its form perfectly, but it actually does have like a little bit of malleability, which is cool. And I think this could probably support like water and just really anything within it. So this is what it looks like. Absolutely worked. So this AI life hack certainly does yield for you a concrete vase if you leave it for 24 hours soaked in concrete. That's a cool one. I might unironically use this. It's probably the coolest vase you can make. So it looks like this AI life hack has to do with glue. So let's see what it says.
Oh, come on! My fingers are already glued together, and now you're bringing salt? Are you getting hit us for food with them? Stop!
Wait, salt can get rid of glue on fingers? Do you know how many times I've accidentally gotten glue on my fingers and then you have to pull, kind of like from A Christmas Story when the tongue gets stuck to the pole and then it's like, and you don't want to break the skin, but then I always end up breaking the skin. So you're telling me this entire time I could have just used the salt? Okay, AI, please do not let me down on this one. I am very excited because if this works, this is a game changer for everybody who plays around with Elmer's glue. So right here, I have super glue and the warning on here says bonds to skin in seconds. But have no fear. Salt is here, because apparently, according to that AI life hack, if you pour a little bit of salt in between your fingers, it magically breaks apart. So that glue bond is broken basically immediately. Let's go ahead and put a little amount on my middle finger. I'm going to stick that. How is it already stuck? That is actually insane. I'm pulling and I'm stuck. So now we're gonna put some salt on this bad boy. Let's see if it does anything. There we go. Salt, mix it around there. Oh, get in there, and the salt, break the glue. Okay, wait a second. No way. I think the salt actually works. And that's super glue right there. Wow, that salt just ate up the glue. Yeah, I can't even like reconnect. Like the salt is just gone on my fingers. I thought for sure that was not going to work. Like my fingers were stuck with that super glue as you saw, but with enough salt, I guess it dissolves or interferes with the binding that happens with the super glue, so you're able to just remove it pretty instantly. That is a very cool one. I feel like I wouldn't have known that without that AI life hack, so hey, credit where credit's due. That one absolutely works. So this AI life hack is all about the hair straightener, so let's see what life hack I can use with the hair straightener. I think I have one of these, not for my hair, but I mean, maybe you could straighten this. All right, let's see.
Hair straightener. And you've been using me wrong for years.
Crack it open a bit, take a chip. Garbage.
Gentlemen, we have a very special episode today. The body cam footage of Liver King has been released. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let me get a drink. I gotta get my drink. Get ready for this, bro. Like. All right. Didn't we see this like years ago? We saw the outside. Now we get to see the inside. Okay. This guy, honestly, I look at him and he's already in a better costume than half of the hobbits from The Hobbit. If you just took this guy and you just sent him to the mines of Moria, I feel like he'd dig up the Balrog by himself. I do. Like, it's actually a dwarf warrior. Really? Like, what the fuck?
But what happened is you picked a fight, Joe Rogan, with another man, a real one.
A real
Welcome
one.
to Texas, Joe Rogan. My name is Liver King.
I mean, look at this guy. This guy was born 1,000 years too late. Like, this is crazy. It should be, my name is Ingvar Ragnarsson or something like that. Like, not Liver King. This is ridiculous. He's a time traveler, yeah.
A series of videos posted by social media influencer Liver King leaves his followers increasingly concerned. But when he arrives in Austin claiming he's there to pick a fight with podcast host and media personality Joe Rogan.
By the way, Joe Rogan would beat the shit out of you. It would not even be remotely close. You would get your ass beat.
Police are forced to step in.
Can this video of me being in this
That'd be
container,
close.
can it go on social media?
The following is based on official police records to date, and the footage has never been seen before until now. Please note that all persons charged with a crime are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. On June 23rd, 2025,
it's actually, bro, it's actually a caveman. Is there a time machine somewhere that we don't know about?
7-year-old fitness influencer Brian Liver King Johnson posted this video to Instagram.
Joe Rogan, I'm calling you out. My name's Liver King. Man to man.
Man to man.
I'm picking a fight with you. I have zero training in jiu-jitsu. You're a black belt. You should dismantle me.
Yes.
But I'm picking a fight with you.
Why?
The next day, Brian posted another video revealing that he'd arrived in Austin, Texas,
Thank
the
God.
home of Joe Rogan's podcast studio.
Uh-oh.
Just pulling up
Austin.
to the capital of Texas.
Yeah.
What's the capital of Texas? What's the capital of Texas?
I don't know. Mexico?
Houston. It's Houston. Guess what?
You're dead, bitch. Wait, what? It's Austin, guys. It's Austin.
Officers with the Austin Police Department locate Brian at a hotel and move
Why
in
would
to
you call? Why would you say?
arrest him on a misdemeanor warrant, hoping to avoid negative publicity through an altercation with a high-profile influencer.
Yeah, sure.
They move through the hotel covertly without their uniforms and speak with him directly.
There
Brian
he
agrees
is.
to go with the officers, first taking a moment to say a prayer with his team.
To discern what matters.
To discern what matters, nothing.
Discern what matters. To be profitable with time. Bridge the gap, the delta of perfect into God's life. King time. That's walking with the light. That's
King time that's walking into the light.
time. That's it. Time. That you protect us. That's walking your life, not
Uh-huh.
Go down this way.
everything is the truth, nothing is a lie. You should be recording everything, and you should have
We're
cameras
recording
and
everything.
loading, and then you and Justin are taking turns to live stream it. and/or make sure that you just post everything you can as soon as you can.
Okay.
Because today,
That's
the
today.
truth.
They escort Brian outside and check him for weapons, but allow him to keep his cell phone.
Sit all the way back, handcuffs. Oh, yeah, hold on, let me figure that out real quick. Hold on 1 second. I'm mobile, bro. I could do. Okay, that'll work.
It actually. Jesus.
That's fine. You guys put handcuffs on people in the back of the car?
Yes, bro. Like
Inside the car though? How come?
Department policy. Yeah.
Because it seems pretty protected.
Okay. Thanks, excellent. Okay.
okay.
What day is that? Today's Monday? Monday or Tuesday?
Today's Tuesday.
Oh my God, it's Tuesday. Shoot. Oh, I'm supposed to have all my meetings today.
Yeah, well, you had to go fight Joe Rogan to the death, right? So, I mean, isn't that more... Wait, so you got the day wrong?
Yeah, every day is someone else's day, and today, Tuesday's the day that I transact with the outside world.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, I hope that somebody on my behalf will share that I'm not transacting, not with the outside world today.
Oh my...
Where are you from originally?
Puerto Rico.
Oh, really?
Naval base. And my wife is from Poland. I'm telling people now, from now on, I'm from Poland, actually, because we went to every base, you know.
Yeah.
So where are you really from? You know what? I'm from the friendliest state, and...
So Poland... Oh, fuck it. Who cares? All right, keep going.
The world, the best country in the world. It's called Texas. You know what Texas means,
You know what? Maybe he is innocent after all.
bro?
What does it mean?
Do you know?
No.
It actually is like Spanish. Tejas is Spanish for friendly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Texas is pretty friendly.
Well, then why'd you fly across Texas to beat up Joe Rogan? Wait, that doesn't sound very friendly. It doesn't sound very Texas to me. That sounds like something an asshole would do. That sounds like something a dick... well, yeah.
But you know what I love about how friendly
It's
it
not
is? We can only be this friendly because we can also be as dangerous as it allows us to be with these laws that make this great place called this place. But I'm kind of telling people, my roots are Poland and Texas.
Reach out that side, okay?
Sure.
Brian arrives at the station and is escorted to an interrogation room, where he remains uncertain why he's even here.
I mean, look at this. Look at this guy, bro. Like, straight up. This is actually a dwarf warrior. Look at that. It's insane. Like a soundproof room. They put him in a padded cell. A meth hobo, yes.
In the first place.
Yeah, if I'm gonna be, what was that? Am I arrested?
You are. Yeah.
And they don't tell you why?
Yeah, the lead detective will give all that information to you. It's a terroristic threat, is what it's called. Okay?
Is it Texas or FBI?
We're with the Austin Police Department, so Texas.
For now.
What I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hang tight for me, Mr. Johnson.
Okay.
Someone of you in your show.
Okay.
Wasn't this guy like a dentist? Wasn't he a dentist or something? Yeah? Wait, what the hell happened? His wife was? Look at this. Look at this, dude. Dude. No wonder they put him in the soundproof room.
No, didn't see that one coming, but it came.
Really? You didn't see it coming?
And, it's awesome. I'll take that for $1.
Oh my god.
According to police records, Brian posted another video in which he was seen carrying a medieval axe, as well as a black box with a Joe.
It's actually gave him that. Bro, wrong century. What do you What do you mean he brought his axe?
Rogan Experience sticker on the top. Though he was secretive about the box's contents, investigators would later find out what was inside.
A terrorist. Wow. I didn't know. Terroristic.
Yeah.
They don't have to tell you here. In the state of Texas. And they don't have to tell you. They can just arrest you. I don't know how you get out of this box. How long do you spend in the box? Do they tell?
Who's he talking to? How old is Liver King, by the way? I mean, there's no way he's over 55, right? He's 47. Oh my God. That's crazy.
Tell you how long you spend in the box?
How long do you spend in the box? Absolute total fucking barbarian Viking. Absolutely. Who does this? Can you imagine them doing that on the longboats? Absolutely.
Can this video of me being in this container, can it go on social media?
The detective finally arrives, but his attempt at an introduction is quickly shut down.
I don't know if you have any involvement with law enforcement. I just kind of want to tell you about myself.
If you don't mind, I'm going to skip all that. I don't want to know about you. I just want you want to know about me. And so let's.
let's not talk. I don't give a fuck about you. Let's talk about the important thing, which is me.
Give everything about you and whatever you want to know about me or the situation. Let's elucidate that as fast as possible.
Okay, absolutely, sir.
Oh, big word.
That.
The detective reads Brian his Miranda rights, then asks if he understands each of them.
There's one that I don't. If I have the right to terminate this interview at any time, what would happen next?
And then you and I are done talking.
And when can I leave?
No.
Yes, sir. You'll be arrested and go down to the jail.
Oh, so I'm not arrested?
You are arrested. That's what I'm saying. When we're done talking.
Okay, I'll terminate this interview.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Okay.
God, why are you? Why you do this? Like, why? He's so dumb.
Come on, Jeff.
This is what happens when you skip cutscenes, guys.
Do you mind? I saw that you have your phone on. Do you mind if I have that? You're not allowed to have a phone in here per policy.
Oh, I already posted everything that I had in here.
Okay.
Is that okay? Because do I need to undo that?
No, that's fine. But just.
So you're asking me the question.
Wait, what do you mean? So he's tweeting from the box? He's in the box and he's tweeting.
If it's a demand, you guys can do whatever you need to do. But you said, do you mind? Yeah, I mind. It's my phone, and it's what I have on me right now. So maybe there's a protocol.
I mean, they're probably going to let him keep the phone. I mean, do you really want to fight this? Do you really want to fight the Dwarf Warrior on fucking this? Let him have the fucking phone.
Use different language.
Well, I don't want to demand. Like, I don't want to be disrespectful or any sort of. Like, I'm trying to show you the utmost respect. So I'm just asking. Okay, I'm just asking. You don't think I'm being respectful to you?
Well, think about this. You said, do you mind? Yeah, I mind. So the answer is yes, I mind.
Okay. Can you give me your phone?
I could.
Will you give me your phone, please?
I would like not to do that.
Okay.
You know what's really crazy? Is that he's already in the top 10% of these people. Because he's reasonable, he's responsive, he's kind of clever, right? Even the investigator is like, okay, good one, right? Like is it really just this easy if you just cooperate and you take his axe?
He asks for his phone one more time, but Brian once again refuses to hand it over. On that note, the detective leaves the room, and Brian continues the conversation alone.
Continues the conversation alone. That's the craziest way that I've ever heard he started talking to himself in an empty room be described. He continued the conversation alone. Oh.
post that one also. Posted that one, we'll post the next ones too. What happens next? What happens next? Well, I'd take you down to the jail is next. Okay, so I could just interview with you and then go to the jail, or I could skip that line and go straight to the jail. New experiences, new information, collect more points.
Okay, that you should not have said that. That's what a person who's living under the bridge would say. Why would you say this? Like, so yeah, bro, he's actually, did this guy get isekai'd? Like, yeah. He's on his own version of solo leveling.
We already did it.
He's warrior main class. His main profession is dentist. His sub-profession is alchemist.
Poland? Yeah, in Poland, that can happen too.
Yeah.
And it did, and so we kind of have a little bit of a reputation, a little bit of experience in jail. And I learned a lot, so I collected more points, adventure, novelty.
He's actually leveling up, bro, like...
Evolutionary hunter, that's what you do.
He's a hunter, evolutionary hunter, that's what you do.
You go out and
I love this guy. I do. I know he's such a stupid asshole, and yeah, you can't go around threatening to kill Joe Rogan, but I find this to be so amusing. I love Liver King.
Venture, accept the risk. Hopefully it's commensurate with the reward. Hopefully that you can make it.
Hopefully I get a good quest reward. Bro, he's actually gaming.
Calculated risk that geometrically magnifies the reward, but never at the risk of like self, really.
Oh, he's taking the hard mode version to get the extra points.
Unless the reward is worth it.
Yeah.
According to police records, an officer with the Violent Crimes Task Force spoke with Brian's executive protection employee, Justin. When asked about the contents of the black box donning the Joe Rogan podcast sticker, Justin claimed it held 2 custom-made staccato pistols that were meant to be gifts for Joe Rogan.
Oh! Bang! Oh, God. Yeah, I wonder, and that's the thing, right? Is that Liver King, there's a chance that it actually wasn't to shoot him. It was to challenge Joe Rogan to a duel. You know, like take 10 paces and then turn around. I could imagine that. That's why there's 2 of them.
So to know your high
John
swords,
Wick.
your 4 of them, decision-making matrix.
John Wick.
2-way doors, just go. Fire, fire, aim. 1-way doors, spend some time to aim. Maybe aim, fire, depending on how one-way it is.
He's actually gaming. He's gaming, bro.
And then 1-way, let's go to jail for a little bit. I've already done that, but maybe I'll learn something new in the process. We'll collect some more points and do some squats. Not real squats, like the ones that you kind of do, like the pistol variety. The ones that count. Oh, you probably won't get his attention, even, you know. But what happened is you picked a fight, Joe Rogan, with another man, a real one.
This would go so hard 1,000 years ago. This would have gone so hard. Really?
Maybe a worthy one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
One that you thought you'd pick a fight with. And so now there's real consequences. And then you'll just make this one stronger in jail. For how long will I be here, do you think? What law did I break? Which law did I break? Whoa, Joe Rogan, you compromised something big. It's the state of Texas. You allowed this to be happening.
Oh my
You wanted it to happen.
Records state that officers spoke with Joe Rogan himself.
Joe Rogan wanted Liver King to fly to Austin with 2 pistols so he could challenge you to a duel to the death. With your battle axe. Of course.
who was made aware of the threats by his own security team.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan claimed he never had any sort of contact with Brian and was unaware of why he would be targeting him. He went on to say that he feels that Brian appears to be, quote, significantly unstable and seems like he needs help.
I wonder what the probability of Liver King ever being on Joe Rogan's podcast is. Because I know the number isn't 0. But I wonder what's going to happen in like 2 years from now, right?
Cool, right? You're arrested by the Violent Crimes Division. You know what's not cool?
I think this made the percentage go down, though.
That's not cool.
I'm pretty sure it did.
A terroristic threat. That's not cool when your home is Texas.
80% in 10 years.
And then the person that's hoping to put you there is not from Texas. He's not. He's from California, y'all. Yeah, you know what we do from outsiders? Like Pace Picante style.
What?
Get a rope. Not a threat. That's the commercial. And that's in principle. That's what Texans do. We honor that kind of friendly. Welcome to Texas, Joe Rogan. My name is Liver King. Who do I want to fight? Who am I picking a fight with? Joe Rogan. What week is it? Rogan versus Liver King week. No, actually, that was wrong. The week is the same as the password for the free Wi-Fi. It's you, Joe Rogan, with a thank you mark.
Many of Brian's followers.
So true. More like a question mark.
Expressed their concerns with his mental state after he posted the following video.
Because I'm here all week. I don't know if you heard. Rogan versus Liver King.
47? Really? 47. Damn. Damn, bro. Like, wow.
Period. COM. All week, this week. It started on Monday. It's going to go through at least Friday. It may go over the weekend, but no longer than that. I'm going to record a lot of videos.
Well,
this week.
Yeah, somebody's going to be recording for you.
I'm not going to record any for a long time.
Because you're going to go to jail.
Brian takes out his phone and plays what appears to be a recording of himself, captured just moments ago in the interrogation room. He listens as he waits for officers to collect him.
Guys, we've got to get this guy back to his timeline. We have to get him back to his timeline before something goes wrong. This is nuts.
He listens as he waits for officers to collect him.
Get him back to his... Oh, no.
What's up, man?
Hello.
Hello, sir. Turn around.
Turn around?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna place you in handcuffs for right now.
Oh.
You're good. You're good. Don't worry about it.
Appreciate you.
Where's your phone at, sir?
In my pocket.
The phone continues to play on the table as they remove the remainder of his property. He's then transported to the local jail.
Would it be funny if I told you I had another phone on me?
Man.
Ooh, Brad.
That would be a little funny, you know.
It's just like, oh, God, fucking...
Because they're supposed to take a bunch of stuff from you the first time.
Yeah.
And then they leave a lot of stuff. And then sometimes that happens again. That would be funny, right?
It might be a little funny, yeah. Brian, I don't...
The cop doesn't even care. Yeah, it'd be funny if you still had the phone.
I don't know all your backstory. Where are you from?
Where are you from?
If you don't mind, I'm not going to be as friendly as I normally am.
Fine. Really up to you.
Yeah.
The following day, Brian posted a $20,000 bond and was released from jail. As a condition of his release, he was ordered to have no contact with the victim or his family and to wear a GPS monitor. The next...
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Morning, Brian posted a new video to Instagram suggesting he's...
I mean, look at this guy. Jesus. I mean, damn, man.
Still has future plans involving Joe Rogan.
What are... Bro. Bro, what the fuck? What the fuck, dude?
If anybody knows where Seth Rogen's, the other version of him that rhymes with blow, if anyone knows where its family's going to be today, if you could let my team know so that we can stay within 200 yards, not close to them, to stay away from them. Oh, please, actually, I redact that. Don't do anything.
Shut up, bro. Like, it's not his fault, bro. Like, he's from a time where they didn't have electricity, okay? He doesn't even understand what he's doing wrong. He doesn't understand violating a protective order.
Their family.
It's not his
anyone
fault.
Who's around us can alert us that there might be anyone with the last name Rogan around, then I'll happily go the other 200 yards. This thing will help me make certain. You know how good that feels on the ankle? And then we're going to go to the Capitol at 7 p.m. every day. We'll be at the Capitol where they make laws. Rogan versus Liver King.
What? That's a courthouse. I've been to the Capitol.
I'm picking a fight.
According to court documents, 47-year-old Brian Liver King Johnson was charged with terroristic threat causing fear of imminent serious bodily injury. His case was dismissed in November of 2025 following the completion of required counseling classes. Get less restricted content and an unfiltered look at our cases. For extended coverage, join us on Spotify and see what you've been missing.
Okay. Oh my God. Number one. Number two. Let me go and I'm gonna link you guys this. This is insane. So what's he up to nowadays? What's Liver King up to? I have no idea. I mean, really, like let me look it up. Okay. I'm gonna look it up. What's Liver King up to nowadays? What's he doing? Is still active online, primarily promoting his ancestral primal lifestyle, though at a lower volume at his peak. Recent posts as well. So, Instagram, okay, what about his Instagram? And this was into March. We are the most retarded versions of humanity. Where is it?
Listens as he waits for officers to collect him.
We are the most retarded versions of humanity. Yeah. Uh-huh. Right. Okay. And so the call to act, what is this here? The summon is out. Your biological lattice, just 1% infertility. This is...
If you lock that shit down, and you kind of did, as our ancestors did it, we'll call it a rite of passage. We readied you, so you're really not scared. You can't wait to go on the fucking lion hunt. Maybe you wear the tooth, or maybe you'll die. You know, but we're going to have 8 of you, a lot of you little kids, because most of you are going to die in childbirth anyways, you know, or from something else. And so if I have a bunch of you, you know, some of you will live. So if one of you goes, it's kind of, you know, par for the course. So you're looking forward to it, party. Hopefully you come back, you got a good story to tell, and you're a man, and you come back. And when you come back like that, like you went off on a test, that's what barbarian is.
What? Why does he have 2 watches?
It's a rite of passage, a modern day rite of passage, because our ancestors had real ones.
What
real
are
ones.
you doing?
And today we don't have it. We have a bar mitzvah. We cake,
Okay.
dance. You're a man now. And so, you know, the world actually has wolves in them. In them, many worlds. The world has wolves.
Liver King on Allcraft. Oh, man. Oh, dude. I wonder. Better get security? Right. Do not bring the Please don't bring the battle axe.
And what's required of you,
He will
give it
kill
to you. But I'm going to call you a man. Bar mitzvah. Happy Sweet 16.
I could probably
we'll
outrun him.
make shows
We'll be all
out
right.
of it. You know, and romanticize it, and we'll decorate it
pretty
so much
athletic.
so the utility
25
of
years
what it
ago.
actually was, the wisdom. Like, why are we hurting so bad today, us men?
Yeah.
You know, how come we don't have direction? How come we don't have fulfillment? Why don't we have so much family? How come we think maybe the world would be better without us? How can we think that maybe that's an option? Maybe I'd take my own life. Maybe I'd take my own life. And, you know, rite of passage, that does something special for you. A rite of passage shows you that you did something. It was the hardest thing you've ever done. And if it wasn't,
What the fuck is he talking?
you didn't do it right, but it was the hardest thing you've ever done, barbarian. And now that you've come back, you realize you can do something that you thought you never could. You did it. You actually did it. You come back, and now your name is even different.
So true. So true. Oh, yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah, definitely. Of course, guys. That makes perfect sense. For sure. Oh, my God. You're here? What is this? Are these the... Just called her pet horse, Dan. Well, I'll watch this.
Okay, here we go. Stop trying to bite on your leash, nigga. Okay, I just fucked up. I fucked up. I'm gonna get canceled regardless. Oh well. Stop. Stop.
Yeah?
Bro,
No, I didn't think she did anything wrong. It's totally fine. Yeah, she didn't do anything wrong. And, yeah, of course not. I mean, wait, what are we talking about here? I mean, let's be real. What is this? I'm drawing this while listening to this horrifying document. So, I'm more of a furry artist, but I wanted to do a different stuff. I've been working on it on and off. First time trying. You know what? I don't know whether this is a compliment or not. This is your first time drawing a human, so you figured you start with me? Really? It's like the best, like, kind of like, you know, gateway into drawing people is just draw me first. Is that the way it works? Yeah, how is this? Oh my God. Inquiries Hardly is horrified. Thank you for reading this and what you do. Aha. That's lovely, man. I love it. Okay, anyway, I will look at this here. I got to go through a few more of these. This is really funny for me to see this. And well, you're an animal, like you said. I mean, I guess. Like, I mean, I am. The thing is that I also live like a caveman, but I do have a handful of like computers and stuff. I like computers. I really do. I like computers a lot. Asmon's skin has 0 sun damage. I have no, like, bro, like, that's nothing. Nothing at all. I never had anything like that. The thing is, like, I don't go outside. And it's not really a thing. Like, I don't have any issues at all. I've never had any kind of skin issue. I used to have... like acne when I was a kid, but then it just went away and it despawned. That's what it was. Do you consider a Steam Deck a computer? I mean, yeah, I guess so. Sure. Definitely. You're like a sophisticated caveman. I'm like a monk, right? I would say like a monk. Like, I don't really do anything. I just sit around. It's like a monk. You need to exercise. I exercised yesterday. Yesterday I walked 2 miles after my stream. I walked 2 miles, and the problem, I probably should exercise more, honestly. I need to. That's probably the one thing that if I did that, it would make, that's probably the one thing I could probably do that would improve my life the most way. 2 whole miles. It's better. Like, I just didn't want to have like any sort of like, you sit for a long time. It's going to not be good for your legs and for your circulation, right? So I did the thing that I thought would be the best idea for the situation.
If she's getting flown out, her back is getting blown out. I'm just telling you, chat.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about being flued out and how like glamorous people make it seem. This was my first time being flued out, quote unquote.
6.5 hours later.
The person tried to put me out in the middle of the night because I did not do what he wanted me to do.
Yeah, he wants you to be a runner.
She's a runner, she's a track star.
What guy's flying a chick out to not beat cheeks?
I flew all the way to Chicago to meet a man who was supposed to take me on a date.
Story time on how this guy flew me to Miami just to leave me with a $1,000 bill at this restaurant.
That's what I'm saying. If you're not splitting your legs, then we're splitting the check.
And I flew out here to Miami. He is not picking up. The phone is going straight to voicemail. I've been calling him since I got to this airport.
Bro, I'm gonna keep it at that. Wow, her face looks like it's made out of Play-Doh. That face, I don't even know what that is, bro. Plastic surgery nightmare. You ladies got to stop doing that with the buccal fat removal and the cheek filler and the chin filler, and y'all look like freaking aliens, bro. Y'all look like claymation. You look like you're on Celebrity Deathmatch. Y'all remember that show, Celebrity Deathmatch? Oh my God, women getting flown out. This is nothing new, but now women are openly talking about it. She looks like a who.
I am devastated. So I met this dude online, and I flew out here to Miami. He is not picking up. The phone is going straight to voicemail. I've been calling him since I got to this airport. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
I mean, are we surprised? She looks dumber than a bag of dildos, and we expected her to make a smart decision here.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. I didn't get no rental. I didn't get no hotel. Like, he booked all of that stuff. So now I'm just sitting here, and his phone is going straight to voicemail.
Stupid.
And all this stuff. Like, I'm so irritated. Like, I know I did not just get played.
You got played like a fiddle, honey. Here's what I would do. Book your return flight. Just go ahead and go on back. There's no reason to stay at this point. Just go ahead and go on back. Just turn back around.
I'm on my hair, but quick story time. I'm having the worst time of my life, literally. I flew all the way to Chicago to meet a man who was supposed to take me on a date. I've been here for 2 days. We haven't been on a date or anything. So I asked him, like, are we going to do something? Because, I only have like a 4-day trip. He gets so annoyed. He was like, I took many girls on dates. I took them skating. I took them shopping. And it got me nowhere. Where those girls at now? He was like, I'm not taking you on a date. You can get to know me right here in my house.
He's crazy.
I mean, hey, I'm just saying, dude, if you have to pay for her time, she might as well just be a prostitute, brother. Just book you a prostitute. At least a prostitute would care and not fake. At least you know what the transaction is, you know what I mean?
Flew out. I didn't really know what getting flued out was, so I fly to the Sky City, he picks me up from the airport, and we're like locked in. I'm sending my friends Snapchats. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is so great, this is so lovely. Again, I'm naive as we go back to his place, and he's like, oh, what do you want to do? Like, should we go get dinner? And I'm like, yeah, we go get dinner, and like, it was nice. Like, he put in some effort. And after dinner, he's like, oh, like, do you want to go check anywhere out while we're here, or do you want to go like back to my place? And I'm like, oh, I'm actually gonna go meet my friends. Like, I have some friends that live in the city, so I'm gonna go meet them. As I'm out with my friends, he texts me and he goes, you should just stay with your friends. Like, you could pack your stuff up. You could come back here, pack your stuff up, and stay with your friend. And I was like, oh, absolutely not. You invited me to the city, so I'm staying with you. And so as I was out with my friends, I booked a flight back to where I was, because what the f do you mean? Because I'm out with my friends, I can just stay? No. No.
How are grown women this naive not to know that if a man's flying you out and paying for your accommodation and your travel, he's gonna want something in return, dude? If you or your child spent years growing up on social media and experienced serious mental health struggles, you should hear this. Recently, a jury ordered Meta and YouTube to pay millions in their role for designing and promoting addictive platforms. They knew their apps could contribute to anxiety, depression, and body image issues, but they did not share those risks while they just prioritized profits. The recent historic verdict underscores the consequences of these decisions. Now, Morgan & Morgan is stepping up to hold these platforms accountable for the harm that they caused. Click the link in the description to take a short quiz. You may be entitled to a potential recovery of over $1,000. And dude, this quiz is super short. It's maybe like 10 or 12 questions, so go check it out. Being flown out was a nightmare.
Let me tell you guys about my nightmare-ass weekend of being flown out.
I mean, first glance here, we got the spider on the hand tattoo. Looks like maybe even a Teletubby. It looks like we have two brain cells fighting for third place. Stupid. See what we got.
Boom, I get here. He does not pick me up from the airport. He tells me to get in a taxi. He pays for the taxi. I arrive. It's cute. He seems really, 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 really nervous. Mind you, we have met before. So I like freshen up. We go to dinner. Dinner's cool. We go to the movies. We watch Scary Movie 6. Mid-movie, he's like, let's leave. I don't like the movie. And I'm like, then why the f you take me to the movie theaters? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's just so weird. Why would we leave the movie theaters when we're watching the movie? And so what if the movie sucks? We should just watch it. But I was like, okay, whatever. Let's leave the movie theaters. We get a bottle. We're drinking. I get drunk. I go to bed. I wake up. I was like, oh, my bad. Like, I didn't mean to fall asleep on you. Okay, so it is now Sunday, and Sunday was the day he promised me to take me shopping, and he was like, oh, if you're a good girl, if you're a really good girl, you get a
AKA, are you bucking?
no budget shopping spree. I'm like, okay. Mind you, the whole weekend, all he talks about is how much money he has, how much money he makes. Oh my god, I make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Oh, I'm such a good music producer. La 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 la. Okay, dude, like, we get it. So Sunday comes around. Okay.
What I love is these women are so comfortable clowning these men, but they are also so comfortable being there and taking advantage of his money. Like, she's making fun of him, but then also they are taking advantage of him. It's like, come on, bro.
He goes to check on his kid, leaves me in the car, AC off. It's hot as f. I tried to turn the AC on. He comes back in the car, and he was like, did you touch something in my car? And I was like, yeah, I tried to turn the AC on. He was like,
never touch a black man's radio.
I was like, okay. Then I had made an appointment to a showroom because, hello, like, you told me shopping spree, so, like, why would I not make an appointment to a cute designer showroom? And this showroom was so cute. And
look, this girl looks like she's a Teletubby, talking about, I booked a private showing in a showroom. Baby girl, you're not private showroom material, you're runner material.
She's a runner, she's a track star.
I pick out a Dior shirt that I really wanted, and it was $800.
JP Morgan offered him $1 million to stay quiet, but he wanted 12, so he filed a lawsuit that probably became one of the largest dumpster fires we've covered here on this channel. So it's safe to say the JP Morgan lawsuit took another wild turn after a banker accusing a top executive of turning him into a servant suddenly dropped his entire case, hired 5 new lawyers, and promised evidence that would change everything. Oh boy, I mean, this lawsuit has officially entered the phase where every update somehow raises even more questions than answers. So this is all off the back of the guy who was originally accusing, Chirayu Rana. He suffered some major setbacks. The former JP Morgan banker, he lost his attempt to keep the lawsuit anonymous, and his attorney was actively trying to withdraw from the case. JP Morgan was publicly saying its internal investigation found no merit to his allegations, and to make things worse, Lorna Hajini had fired back with a defamation lawsuit of her own. So, in other words, things were not exactly trending in a positive direction for this guy. In fact, I ended my last video wondering whether Rana would actually end up representing himself, which, to be clear, would be an awful idea, and is absolutely not a court strategy one would ever recommend. We saw that firsthand with the TikTok psychic. But it's infinitely worse when you're going against the largest bank in the world. But thankfully for Mr. Rana here, he didn't go down that path. He actually reappeared with a new legal team. Not one lawyer, not 2 lawyers, 5 lawyers he showed up to court with. And I guess they showed up to, I guess, burn the whole thing to the ground and start all over again. Because according to new court filings, Mr. Rana is voluntarily dropping the New York State lawsuit that kicked off the entire saga. And the same lawsuit, which is obviously the same lawsuit accusing former JP Morgan executive Lorna Hagini of doing a whole bunch of stuff against him that I can't even say here. But amongst other things, it was turning him into a servant and threatening his career if he didn't go along with it. Alleged, by the way. So that case is gone. Or at least that's the plan, because Rana's new attorneys say the original lawsuit never told the full story and failed to include several federal claims that they now want to pursue. So to say the dude is doubling down would be putting it extremely lightly. The dude is like 5xing the lawsuit essentially. So instead of, continuing in state court, they're preparing for an entirely new federal lawsuit that they say will now include allegations revolving racial discrimination, retaliation, and interference with family and medical leave protections. And if that wasn't dramatic enough, they're now claiming they've uncovered what they describe as substantial new evidence, which sounds pretty important. The only problem is nobody actually knows what this evidence is yet. So if you're wondering whether dropping your entire lawsuit and starting over again is a sign that things are going great, the answer is honestly, it just depends who you ask. Because according to Rana's new legal team, this isn't a retreat at all. Because they say the original lawsuit was incomplete and they say federal court is where the full case belongs. And one of his attorneys even claimed that the public has been fed a distorted version of what actually happened and that the story everyone thinks that they know is about to change significantly, which is a pretty bold thing to say considering the case has already generated months and months of headlines. In fact, the lawyers are being so confident about this, they're basically treating the federal lawsuit like the director's cut of the original story. Their position is essentially everything that you've seen so far is only a part of the bigger picture. So that's interesting, but here's where I'm starting to get a little bit skeptical because every article covering this update keeps repeating the same phrase, substantial new evidence. So obviously my main question is, where's this substantial new evidence? And look, I mean, maybe they have something huge, but at the moment, all we know is they're saying they have it. Nobody's actually seen it, and the filings don't really spell it out. The articles don't spell it out, and the lawyers aren't publicly describing it. So what we're basically being told is, trust us, the really important stuff is coming later. So that kind of leaves us in this like weird position because the old lawsuit, I guess, is being abandoned and the new lawsuit hasn't been filed yet. And the evidence supposedly exists and nobody outside the legal team knows what it is. So for the moment, this entire update is less about proving anything and more about, I guess, setting expectations for what comes next. And based on the way these attorneys are talking, they're setting those expectations very high. And now when I hear lawyers start talking about substantial new evidence, I can't help but to think the last time this lawsuit supposedly got a major evidence boost because, back in May, Rana's legal team filed what was presented as a big new development, which was an anonymous witness who claimed to have personally seen some of the alleged behavior Rana had been describing. And according to the filing, the witness was a family friend who said they were staying at an apartment in New York in September of 2024. This is when he allegedly witnessed an extremely weird night encounter involving Hagini and Rana. The witness claimed that he woke up to Hagini acting crazy, later saw her naked in the apartment, and alleged that she repeatedly tried to pressure him into joining her and Rana in the bedroom. And according to the filing, the witness said that he refused and later heard Rana telling her to stop and leave. The witness also claimed that after Hagini left, Rana described being reportedly harassed and pressured into this activity and expressed concerns that she was blackmailing him. And at the time, this was treated as a major development because this was one of the first times someone other than Rana supported parts of the story. But it also didn't suddenly end a debate because JP Morgan continued denying the allegations and Hagini continued denying the allegations. And the bank maintained that its internal investigation had found no evidence supporting Rana's claims. So even after that witness surfaced, we were still basically left at, the same place. One side saying the allegations are true and the other side is going, no, they didn't happen. Which is also why I don't want to get too carried away by how I'm talking about this new evidence because we don't know yet. So until we actually see what's in that federal complaint, we're still dealing with promises, not proof. And speaking of things changing, the biggest surprise in this entire update might not actually be the federal lawsuit. It might be the fact that Rana suddenly has lawyers again, because remember, his previous attorney, Daniel Kaiser, he tried to withdraw from the case literally hours before a major hearing. And at the time, it looked like Rana was potentially heading towards, one of the biggest legal fights of his life without any representation. Now, fast forward a couple weeks, and the guy shows up with an entire legal team, with one attorney calling Hagini's defamation countersuit a retaliatory attack, which to me just sounds a little crazy because how is it an attack to countersue someone who has made you into a public figure and has led you to receiving death threats? Because remember, Hagini is, getting awful emails sent to her, like the kind that I cannot show on this channel. And if she's telling the truth and Rana is completely lying, then countersuing is absolutely on the table. So his new lawyer strategy is pretty aggressive considering where things stood just a few weeks ago. But I guess buried inside all of this is something else that's pretty interesting, because while most of the headlines are focusing on the alleged new evidence, the actual legal strategy appears to be changing too, because the original lawsuit became famous because of one of the more shocking claims, and that's what generated a lot of the headlines and the social media discussion. But now Rana's lawyers are talking much more about discrimination, retaliation, racism, and workplace protections. So in other words, I mean, they seem to be broadening the case beyond just, the allegations that made it go viral. They're actually hitting on some of the stuff that affects JP Morgan. So they're kind of saying, yeah, this is a harassment case, but we also need to hit a little bit more on the workplace aspect here. And this feels a little insane to me because he's already been hit with a countersuit from Hajini. But remember, he also named JP Morgan as a defendant, meaning he could absolutely get a countersuit from one of the biggest banks in the world. And now this new legal team seems to be pointing the barrel right at that bank. Like, dude, this evidence that they're claiming they have better be bulletproof. Like this is a bold move, to put it lightly. It'll be interesting to see what it is, but he hasn't given us anything that makes people believe him yet. So it seems like they think a broader employment case is stronger than the original approach. But to me, it kind of seems a little more dangerous, but I guess the guy is already on the hot seat. So what does he have to lose? Honestly, a lot. But hey, it does suggest that this federal lawsuit may look very different from the version of the story that we've been following for a few months now. And honestly, that's probably why they're abandoning the original case entirely instead of modifying it or amending it. And from the way they're describing it, they don't really seem to view this as version 2 of the same lawsuit. They seem to view this as an entirely different fight. So before anyone starts celebrating or declaring victory on either side, there's one very important detail that hasn't changed at all. Lorna Hajini is still denying everything. JP Morgan is still denying everything. And perhaps more importantly, Hajini's defamation lawsuit isn't just magically disappearing because Rana wants to move his claims to federal court. Because according to the filings, her countersuit in state court remains unaffected, which means Rana isn't exactly hitting the reset button and getting a clean slate here whatsoever. Like, he's potentially adding an entirely new legal battle, which will cost a whole lot of money to defend himself on, into all this. So this is definitely an interesting decision by him. For all my strategy nerds out there, it kind of seems like he's opening a second front in the same war, which we know isn't always the best idea. But essentially, that creates a very interesting situation because now both sides are essentially accusing each other of making the entire thing up. And those positions are just so far apart, it almost feels impossible for them to come in an agreement here, because at some point somebody's eventually going to have to start producing some evidence that can survive in court, actual evidence, because after months of filings, countersuits, witness statements, and now a complete legal reset, we're still stuck on the same basic question that we had since day one. What can either side prove here? I don't know. I guess we'll see. So what happens next? Well, this is where things get a little weird, because even though Rana is trying to move his fight to federal court, the state court isn't really finished yet. So as of now, there's still a hearing scheduled for June 23rd. And one of the big questions is, what exactly survives after Rana's attempt to dismiss the claims? And again, remember, Hajini's defamation countersuit isn't automatically going away just because Rana wants a different venue. So there could still absolutely be activity in state court, even if his legal team wants it all to be moved federally. Meanwhile, Rana's attorneys are saying they intend to file a new federal lawsuit by the end of June. And that's really, I guess, the document everyone should be watching for, because that's when we'll actually find out whether there's new substantial evidence or not, or if it's just like smoke and mirrors. But other than that, you guys have a couple more days to get the Atozy/GamerSupps cup that me and GloomTube spent ages designing, and we just wanted to make a unique cup that stands out on the GamerSupps website, which I think we did. So Gloom, if you don't know, he's the guy who designed all my Matt City stuff. You can also get all the Matt City products, which, includes this mouse pad right here, the toy car mat / rug that I normally hang as my wall, because that's my low budget city skyline hanging behind me, because this here is a low budget talk show. And you can find the other stuff at matt.city, which will be in the description down below, and get the limited edition cup at gamersupps.gg/Atozy, which will also be in the description down below, because you only have a few more days to get this limited edition cup. So hey, let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace. Charli D'Amelio at one point became the largest creator on TikTok, and her family absolutely capitalized on this and tried to turn a teenager's TikTok fame into a full-blown business empire. But years later, Charli, who started it all, I guess is walking away from the whole family and allegedly only keeping contact through attorneys, which has me sitting here wondering, will there be a lot of similarities between, I don't know, the TikTok teenager stars and their parents as there was Disney stars and their parents and even early musicians and their parents, or just in general, people who became famous when they weren't 18 and then, you know, had their parents run their stuff for them. But with this case, there's absolutely been some signs that maybe the work relationship in the family came before the actual family part of being the family. It just becomes problematic when your parents are also your boss and they are monetizing your persona, which then opens up that slippery slope and a weird dynamic of, okay, are you a boss first or are you parent first? Do you actually want what's best for your child, or do you want what's going to profit the most money? Obviously, this is nothing more than speculation, but there were some early signs with this just a few years ago, because I covered this family like 5 years ago with this video. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that all of this is now unfolding, but here we are. So if you don't know who Charli D'Amelio is, back in 2019, she was just a teenager from Connecticut posting dance videos on TikTok. And most influencers spent years trying to become famous, but Charli kind of tripped and fell into it. Like, she started posting these dance videos for fun, her clips began taking off, and within a few months, she had become one of the fastest growing creators on the platform. And that growth became extremely ridiculous because in November of 2020, Charli became the first person in the world to reach 100 million followers on TikTok. So essentially, she was just a high school student who liked dancing, and when that happened, everything changed for her, because Charli didn't just become famous, her entire family became famous. Her older sister, Dixie, she started posting content and quickly built a massive audience on her own. Then the whole family moved from Connecticut to California. They signed brand deals, they launched businesses, they starred in a Hulu family reality show called The D'Amelio Show, and suddenly, what had just started as a teenager making videos in her bedroom had become an entire family empire. And that's where this story gets a lot more complicated than your average influencer drama.
So what this is it's a look at your 2021. This is the major things we're focusing on, starting a clothing company. And then you have books and TV shows.
I just literally had no time to actually do anything, which is the thing that sucks.
And it seems like they were really putting the kids to work in this family, because they had binders where production was planned out for the entire year. I feel like that would, I don't know, take away a little bit of the fun aspect from a teenager who started doing TikTok dance videos for fun. And I guess contrary to how some people are telling the story, Charli's parents weren't broke. Like, they seemed like they were pretty well off before all this even happened. Her dad, Mark, already had a long career in business before TikTok. Her mom, Heidi, apparently had worked as a model. The family seemed to be doing completely fine long before anyone knew what a D'Amelio was. But even if they weren't dependent on Charli when all this started, it's hard to argue the family's public fame didn't come from her. So without Charli, I feel like it's safe to say that there would be no Hulu show, no brand, or even, you know, a popcorn company. And there definitely wouldn't be an audience of millions of people that want to know what the D'Amelios are doing. But I guess the problem is when one person becomes the center of a family business, things get messy very quickly, to put it lightly. Especially when that one person is a teenager and, I don't know, should be having some sort of a childhood. But instead, they just built an entire creator business on top of her. And I say on top of her because a normal business is kind of like a triangle. A creator business is kind of like an upside down triangle, right? So, like, you know, normal business, you'll have like a CEO on the top, and then you'll have like, you know, COO and CFO and essentially like the management roles below. If the CEO is sick one day, the company's gonna keep running. On a creator business, right, you have the creator on the bottom, and then everyone is essentially stacked on top of the creator. So if the creator doesn't show up to make content that one day, they don't have content that day. The business essentially stops. So let's say if the creator just wants to go for a 1-month vacation, that will not work in the modern creator landscape unless they've pre-filmed so much content to essentially cover them for while they're gone. That's just the reality of a creator business. A creator business is essentially just a treadmill, and you kind of have to just pace yourself so you can do it for a long time. And if you're a teenager and they just shove you on this treadmill and they just ram up the speed as fast as possible, yeah, you're gonna burn out quickly.
I went downstairs and I stayed down there because I was like, everyone just needs to leave me alone for a second before I have a panic attack. You're shaking. I can't help it. I just feel like I'm nuts. I have no idea how to feel. You're gonna do great. I used to have like 10 to 15 huge panic attacks a day. Like, that's how bad it was. It's obviously still there. I obviously still struggle with it. There's no way to just like, poof, anxiety's gone.
And it's safe to say that pressure would become a major theme in the years that followed. As Charlie's fame exploded, the family tried to navigate something that basically didn't have too much of a manual, because you haven't seen too many cases of this. Like, obviously you had the families that had kids who were, I guess, became pop stars, or the Nickelodeon actors, or Disney kids, and so on and so on. But Charlie, she was the first in a generation of people who became global celebrities for essentially 10 to 15 second dance videos on social media. That is completely unheard of. Essentially, one day she was posting dance videos, and next she was appearing in commercials and attending red carpets. And eventually the family, as I mentioned earlier, got their own Hulu reality show. So this is where things get a little interesting, because if you go back and actually watch the D'Amelio show, it's actually kind of surprising how often the topic of pressure comes up. Because while the show is supposed to, I guess, give viewers a look inside of the glamorous life of being a TikTok celebrity, there were definitely moments where Charlie seemed completely overwhelmed by what her life had become. At one point, she said, "I am physically and mentally exhausted. It's work. It's my personal life. It's negative comments. It's school. It's content I make for myself. It's deliverables. It's meetings. It's interviews. It's everything." As I mentioned earlier, that treadmill was just turned up really fast. And again, remember, like, not even 2 years before, she was just a normal high school student. So, I mean, her being overwhelmed makes complete sense, because, you know, now not only is she still going to school, but they essentially just loaded up a full-time job on her on top of everything. Not only a full-time job, it's a full-time job that is a whole bunch of people's full-time jobs stacked on top of her. And there was one quote that really stood out, because she said, "If I wanted to quit, now they don't have a job. It's a lot to put on a person." So again, she's referencing the whole thing where, you know, the upside down triangle creator business, where the creators on the bottom, everyone's stacked on top. If she just quits, everyone here loses their job. And look, I'm not saying this is proof that anyone was exploiting her or anything like that, but it does tell us something important. Even during the height of her success, Charlie was very aware that her career wasn't just her career anymore. There were employees, business deals, brand partnerships, and so on and so on. An entire ecosystem that had grown around her success. Meanwhile, publicly, the family seemed incredibly close. In interviews, Charlie kept praising her parents and said there were nobody who worked harder to protect her than what they did, and her parents also openly talked about helping both Charlie and Dixie through mental health struggles. Essentially, the family's image was built around being supportive, relatable, and unusually close for a group living under an internet microscope. Which is why I guess what happened next caught so many people off guard. Because I guess while all the fans were watching the TikToks and the red carpet appearances, things behind the scenes seemed to be changing. Because according to Mark D'Amelio, the problems that people are hearing about now actually started back in early 2025. And that's where the timeline starts getting real strange, because from the outside, everything was looking great. Forbes estimated that Charlie earned like $23.5 million in 2025 alone. I mean, this is just unfathomable money for most people. She was also making a leap from social media into traditional entertainment and landing a role on something called & Juliet on Broadway. But I guess behind the scenes, something was changing. So in late 2025, fans noticed that Charlie and her parents no longer followed each other on Instagram. Oh no! So, you know, that is just a massive bombshell for the unemployed. The D'Amelios, they don't follow each other anymore. Obviously, that's kind of a nothing burger, but then things get a little bit more interesting when reports emerged that Charlie had quietly separated herself from parts of the family's business empire. So, according to TMZ, the process actually started in March 2025 and was fully completed by November of 2025. And in other words, while fans were busy, I guess, speculating in 2026, Charlie had reportedly already been distancing herself from the family business for months. And I mean, if that's true, the public was basically the last to find out. So one of the businesses was Be Happy Snacks, the popcorn company launched by the D'Amelio family. And according to reports, Charlie stopped promoting the product and just formally exited the company, while her parents and sister remained involved. And I guess what's funny is even after reports said she had left, her photos were still all over the company's website, which kind of makes sense because, you know, she's still the glue, the key part to that brand. So I don't think that brand is going to want to just, you know, erase her from the photos. I feel like more people will start asking questions then. But that does put her in a a weird predicament. Like, imagine leaving your family business and then still being the face of the homepage. Because I guess in May of 2026, allegations surfaced claiming the fallout wasn't really about the popcorn at all. Apparently, it was about the money, because allegedly, on May 30th, 2026, a gossip account called Dumoy published claims from, I guess, unnamed sources alleging that Charlie had discovered millions of dollars had been transferred out of her accounts that had been established while her career was being managed by her parents. Allegedly, this money was supposed to be intended to be Charlie's savings. And the reports also claimed that the dispute had caused a major rift within the family, and that Dixie had sided with the parents. And then it went on to say, in quote, her parents treated her like a cash cow. This is a teenager who was taken advantage of for money by her already rich parents, leaving her aggressively and massively hated online for having the maturity of a teenager. And Mark D'Amelio did not stay quiet. Almost immediately, he jumped into the comments and publicly denied the claims. He wrote, "Nobody called me for an interview. This is not true. We love Charlie, but she is being manipulated and I have the receipts." And I guess if that wasn't dramatic enough, he followed it up by saying there is nothing to say except the report is 100% not true. So I guess at this point, you might think that Mark's strategy would be to stop talking, but instead, he went live on TikTok.
All I want to do is I'm going to protect my name and protect when people talk about me, and it's not happening. So, and everybody knows who they are, and I have the receipts.
And honestly, some of the things he said during that live stream are probably the most important pieces of information that we have for the entire story, because Mark presented a completely different explanation for what was happening. Because according to him, Charlie was distancing herself because someone else was influencing her.
She hasn't reached out to me, and sometimes she's mad at me for something. Gave my daughters everything I thought they wanted and needed, and now you got a bunch of team around them that think they know what's best for Charlie. And I have all the receipts. The problem is, if I sue someone, what's that going to do? Drag my family into a lawsuit? Emails I sent one to her business manager. He didn't respond back. Maybe I'll post that one later. We guys should look into everybody associated with Charlie. These dumb don't understand that I can use AI and search 330,000 emails and I have everything. So you want to come after us?
Okay, so in Mark's version of events, the person treating Charlie like a cash cow wasn't her family. It was the people around her. So during his live stream, Mark said, "Do you know how I communicate with my daughter, Charlie? Through her lawyer." Yeah, I mean, that's a nightmare. Honestly, I think there's so many aspects of this story that's a nightmare. But, Mark went on to explain that he had recently spoken with Charlie's lawyer and had been told that she was doing okay. But an interesting part of this live stream is, first he says how much he wants Charlie back.
We're destroyed, man. We're freaking devastated. We want Charlie back. We love her.
Then he follows it up by implying that she's playing a victim.
I think people and therapists try to create this narrative that it's the parents' fault. You think a lot of people want to be victims, and sometimes you just, sometimes you're just not a victim. Sometimes you happen to get super lucky and you have a silver spoon in your mouth and your dad is working so you can have all the things that you have.
Okay, dude, which is it? Like, do you want her back, or is she just doing the whole silver spoon thing? I don't fully understand the strategy here. Like, if Mark was trying to convince people that this wasn't just internet gossip, he kind of accomplished the opposite by confirming the only way he talks to his daughter is by her attorney. Regardless, I mean, the allegations themselves may be unproven, but Mark's response confirms something else. There is clearly something happening, and you don't just start communicating through lawyers because everything's going great. You don't publicly say that you want your daughter back if you just had a minor disagreement at Thanksgiving dinner. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I guess something obviously changed. And I guess while all of this was unfolding, Charlie wasn't exactly giving fans a lot of clarity either. So the same day the whole thing exploded, she posted a TikTok featuring herself with visibly bloodshot eyes. And I guess the caption read, "I'll be back dancing later. I'm depressed. Leave me alone." Which should probably just go into the Hall of Fame for vague posting, because it answers kind of something, but also nothing at all. Like, one could assume this was about the family drama, but you don't really know for certain. So at the end of the day, like, nobody in the public really knows. And of course, Charlie didn't elaborate. So while Mark is doing live streams, answering comments and telling people that he has receipts, Charlie was pretty much just staying silent, which kind of left fans trying to piece together what was going on. And then a few days later, another report dropped that made the situation even harder to ignore. So on June 4th, People magazine published a report confirming that Charlie was officially out of the Be Happy Snacks. And again, Be Happy Snacks is the family snack company that they launched in 2023. And the name itself comes from Dixie's song Be Happy. So now, according to People magazine, Charlie was no longer involved with the company. Her parents, Mark and Heidi, were still a part of the business, and while Dixie's exact role wasn't entirely clear, she had been promoting the brand as recently as November of 2025. Meanwhile, Charlie was gone, and again, photos of Charlie were still featured throughout the company's website. So still, after formally leaving, she's still indirectly helping them sell popcorn by just being on the front page. But I guess this is where things get even more confusing, because around the same time, TMZ reported that Charlie's departure wasn't some dramatic thing. According to their sources, the separation was a former amicable separation from D'Amelio Brands and D'Amelio Family LLC that everyone agreed to at the time. And if that's accurate, the timeline gets really weird, because TMZ claims the process started in March 2025 and was fully completed by November of 2025, meaning Charlie had allegedly been out of the business for more than 6 months before this whole public thing happened. So if the separation was amicable and everyone agreed to it, what's going on right now? Why are they only talking to each other through lawyers? And I guess this brings us to where the story stands today, and why the biggest question in this entire situation still doesn't have an answer. So a family that became famous together, built businesses together, made millions of dollars together, now appears to be trying to figure out what happens when one member wants to go a completely different direction. So for now, the popcorn company still exists. Mark is still denying the allegations. Charlie is still staying silent, and I guess everyone else is kind of wondering, okay, what's going on? I feel like the biggest bombshell here is the allegations about the money. If I was going to be a betting man, I would bet something happened there. Regardless, though, it seems like this is kind of what happens when your kid accidentally becomes the family business. Like, just think how weird this situation is. Because, like, Charlie wasn't some, like, child actor whose parents, you know, were driving them to auditions and signing contracts and doing all this stuff for years, like a long grind for this to finally happen. No, she just started doing TikTok dances for fun, and then suddenly was like being invited to runways and had 100 million followers on TikTok. That is unbelievable. She probably has the record from being absolutely nobody to being, you know, one of the most famous people, at least during the pandemic era, in the shortest amount of time. And then in the midst of this, when your daughter's standing there telling you that she's exhausted, as a parent, are you actually acting as a parent, or are you acting as a manager going, no, you can do more brand deals. We got to strike while the iron's hot. You're relevant now. You got to do these brand deals while we can get paid a lot for them. Like, I don't know. It's a slippery slope. Now, obviously, I can't put words into their mouths. I don't know what actually happened. What we saw was what we saw on the reality TV show, and I guess we have a whole bunch of rumors and speculations around that. So we just have to deal with very limited information for now. But I feel like the quote that I keep going back to is Charlie's quote saying, if I wanted to quit, now they don't have a job. That's a lot of pressure for your teenager. So, hey, I mean, maybe the money allegations are true. Maybe they're not. Maybe one day somebody will release some sort of receipts so we can actually find out what's actually going on. But regardless of what happened financially, it seems pretty clear that Charlie felt a lot of pressure for a very long time. And honestly, if you're 22 years old and you're trying to figure out who you are on the outside, and you've spent, what, the last 5 years, 6 years in the spotlight, maybe it is time to take a little break. Because I mean, hey, at the end of the day, especially when you're a young adult now, you should be living your life for yourself, and then finding the things that give you purpose in life, and then get your joy in life from your purposes, and avoid falling into the trap of getting your joy and happiness from dopamine. You should get that from purpose. Regardless, though, thank you guys for watching. Drop a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. You can also get one of these bad boys, gamersubs.gg/atozy. They're only for sale for a couple more days, and they're gone forever. See you guys in the next video. Peace.
dangerous gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Work which is now widely viewed as the source of the unintentional lab leak that sparked the pandemic. Now, in support of President Trump's maximum transparency mandate, today, on my final day as Director of National Intelligence, I'm releasing never-before-seen communications and documents that expose exactly how Fauci worked.
Fauci is pardoned by Biden? Well, who cares? Just unpardon him. What? What? You can't? Why not? Just do it anyway. Gives a fuck.
With politicized career leadership
That's a thing?
in the intelligence community to suppress the truth about his actions, the virus's lab leak origins, and his role in directing U.S. funding for this dangerous research that caused immeasurable harm and countless lost lives. Now, these documents expose Fauci's direct role in influencing and manipulating IC assessments on COVID-19 and how Fauci lied to Congress in 2024 when, under oath, he denied knowledge of or participation in discussions with intelligence officials about viral research. We also received testimony from multiple intelligence community whistleblowers who reported retaliation for challenging the intelligence community's manipulation of intelligence on the virus's origins. Once again, revealing a clear pattern of suppressing dissent, silencing critics, and burying the truth.
I wonder why.
Dr. Fauci's close relationships with the intelligence community enabled him to assume three key roles that shield him from scrutiny. First, Dr. Fauci funded dangerous gain-of-function coronavirus research linked to Big Pharma and their pursuit of universal vaccines worth trillions of dollars.
Wow.
Second, Dr. Fauci was the behind-the-scenes advisor who, alongside his hand-picked so-called experts, pushed the intelligence community to endorse a natural animal origin to hide his dangerous gain-of-function research that he funded using taxpayer dollars. All of this in a
That's fucking insane.
deliberate attempt to cover up the truth and shift the blame and attention away from Fauci. Fauci's own actions. Third, Dr. Fauci became the nation's pandemic pundit, and he publicly pushed lies, disinformation, and censorship using every platform available.
And they also shut down and destroyed the lives and reputations of anybody who disagreed with it. That's the other really big important component, is that the COVID censorship can never be forgotten.
Now, according to hundreds of reviewed emails, which are included in this release, the intelligence community almost always incorporated Fauci's recommendations. He promoted a fraudulent paper whose publication he helped prompt as legitimate information for intelligence community consideration. Senior analysts praised Dr. Fauci not as a policymaker, but as what they called an unbiased guide to the real coronavirus experts, while deliberately ignoring experts who might dissent from Fauci's narratives.
Yep.
Now, Fauci didn't
Could do a civil class action. Guys, the way I would solve this, people are, it's crazy how, I don't even know what to say.
Up there. He blatantly lied to Congress under oath during his 2024 testimony to the House Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic, denying that he ever spoke to any intelligence agency about COVID. Now, the correspondence I'm releasing today directly contradicts his sworn testimony. Now, we received statements from multiple whistleblowers revealing that the intelligence analysts who dared to challenge Dr. Fauci's COVID origin conclusions faced threats of retaliation, marginalization.
This happened to everybody. And they even tried to force this on social media platforms.
And many suffered career setbacks. For example, a contractor was terminated just days after coming forward to ODNI as a whistleblower. Another example, those who advocated for the lab leak hypothesis or expressed dissenting views were reminded by their managers that leadership would determine which analysts would be promoted and which would not.
Yeah.
The message was
implicit
clear.
Threats.
Go along or be punished. Senior leaders also sought to undermine whistleblowers by removing anonymity, which is required in the whistleblower process, as they made their complaints.
Well, that's convenient.
And also insisting that their managers or attorneys be present during ODNI meetings where these whistleblowers were coming forward with their testimony, obviously creating an atmosphere of intimidation. The COVID pandemic caused tremendous hardship and pain for millions of our fellow Americans and countless people around the world. Now, after years of lies and censorship and cover-ups, the American people deserve transparency, truth, and accountability. The tactics that were used to hide the truth are straight from the deep state playbook. Politicized self-serving leaders like Dr. Fauci covered up their own wrongdoing and abuses of power, manipulated intelligence, lied to Congress, and undermined a duly—
That's crazy. And people say, oh, well, they're pardoned, so you can't do anything about it. That is insane to me. What do you mean? What do you mean?
The elected president by restricting his access to the vital facts he needed to keep the country safe. It's time you know the truth.
Isn't that insane? Yeah, in 4 more years, we'll learn that some accidental lab leak wasn't an accident. Maybe. I don't think that we really know. Yeah, I have no idea at all. Let me guess, nobody's going to be arrested. Now we know why Biden pardoned them. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can always do something to counter, like, I don't know, like, I can't even say how you could undo that, right? But there are ways that you can undo that. It just involves being, like, that's it. This is also insane in hindsight. Yeah, let me see. It's auto pen pardon? Well, I don't think you even need to think about that. Let me see this again.
To the kind of government censorship around stuff like this. And we produced all these documents and it's all in the public domain. I mean, basically, these people from the Biden administration would call up our team and like scream at them and curse. And it's like these documents it's all kind of out there.
Oh, did you record any of those phone calls?
I don't think we, but I think
I want to listen.
I mean, there are emails, the emails are published. It's all kind of out there. And they're like, and basically it just got to this point where we were like, no, we're not gonna take down things that are true. That's ridiculous. They want us to take down this meme of Leonardo DiCaprio looking at a TV talking about how 10 years from now or something.
Imagine, bro. Imagine that's what the White House is calling you about. Delete the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. You can't really attack the pardons because that'd be a big bag of worms. You could attack President Biden's cognition instead. I'll pull you up. Because you're really you're not really. Do you think that the people that you disagree with would be willing to honor a pardon if they thought that pardon was unfair or problematic? Like, for example, do you think that they would respect a pardon on Donald Trump? Or do you think that they would ignore it and then just go after him anyway? No. Okay, so then why so how would it be opening a can of worms? If you acknowledge. So okay, so then why would it be opening a can of worms if even you acknowledge that they would not even listen to this in the first place? Just think about it. Can of worms, a bag of worms. Okay, give me my use bathroom. 5 impeachment attempts? Yes, sure. I'm just saying, think about it. Okay, I'm back. Give me a minute. Excuse me. Okay. Take a look at what he's saying. I agree with you. Yeah, let me see what it says. I agree with you, but if we were to honor our legal process, that'd be a bag of worms. Well, why would you honor a process that the other people aren't honoring? If you agree with me that they would not honor the process and they would also do bad stuff, then I don't see why would you, like, if they're not doing it, like, I don't get it. They're saying something in the Constitution about races. You're right. He who fights fair dies first. There you go. There you go.
You're going to see an ad that says, okay, if you took a COVID vaccine, you're eligible for, for this kind of payment, like this sort of like class action lawsuit type meme.
Who's never going to get
like,
banned.
no, you have to take that down.
Just disagree.
We said no. We're not going to take down humor and satire. We're not going to take down things that are true.
Yeah.
And then at some point, I guess I don't know, it flipped a bit. I mean, Biden, when he gave some statement at some point, I don't know if it was a press conference or to some journalists, where he basically was like, these guys are killing people. And I don't know, then like all these different agencies and branches of government basically just like started investigating, coming after our company. It was brutal.
That's right. That's what they do. Did you get censored back then? No, I never get censored. I always have I try to always have a very good finger on the pulse of like what's okay and what's not okay. And so I generally never go outside of that realm. Like, I don't go and try to start trouble or start drama or cause problems where I don't really think that it would be beneficial for me. But yeah, that's really how I see it. This is also from Exeth. Okay, let me look at it. Yeah, so to me, that's it. You self-censored yourself. Yeah, I don't say things that will put me at risk. I don't do that. What is this?
As I told you, my 2019 resolution is to say things on air that I say off air. I don't think I've washed my hands for 10 years. Really?
Man. Bro, I see, yeah, bro. We got the chuds in control now. Yeah.
I don't really wash my hands ever.
Help me!
No, I inoculate myself. It's just not, germs are not a real thing. I can't see them.
Yeah.
It's just not, germs are not a real thing. I can't see them. Therefore, they're not real.
So you're becoming.
As I told you.
Yeah, bro, duh. Duh, bro, like, what do you mean? Asma loves them now? I loved them before, to be fair. But that's it. Yeah, see, as the strongest antibodies in the world, yeah, people don't understand. And that's it. Wash your hands in 10 years. People fall much stuff to lose to ask for more. That's exactly right, bro. This is, as I said, bro, it is the year of the chud, man. And I love to see this.
Like, oh, I'll send you half. What the why the would you tell me you're gonna take me on a fucking shopping spree? Why would you tell me you're gonna do all this shit for me? And when I want to buy something, you're talking about I'll give you half.
Flashback.
Because you didn't give him any sugar. I'm telling you guys, if you want this stuff, you know you got to be bucking.
The bottle, we're drinking, I get drunk, I go to bed. I wake up, I was like, oh, my bad, like I didn't mean to fall asleep on you. My bad, like I didn't mean to fall asleep on you.
Oh, my bad. I guess we're gonna have to go half on whatever you want because you didn't buck me last night. That's what I'm saying, dude. Come on.
So I was like, I'll send you half because how embarrassing it is to bring a man to a showroom and he's not even gonna pay for your things. Ew, like that's so embarrassing. And he was like, I don't think you know how this works. Like you're supposed to listen to me. And I'm like, oh, bitch, you got the game up. Like you really think you're the bad bitch here. You really think you're the prize here. Like, no, bitch, it's me. Like, what?
No.